Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I have time to do another recording tonight, which is exciting. I wasn't sure if I would get back in time, but I did. So, I do at some point want to return to Yugdung, our Deep Dwarf Artificer, but it's been a little while since I've played. I want to get a few games back in my brain before I pick up a character that I was already playing, because I kind of like this guy, if I recall, and I want him to do well. I also kind of want to try something fun. I don't think I want to go for a really serious run here, so we're going to be Brbl Urble. And Brbl Urble is sounds like a Demonspawn, like little tentacles for a mouth. I really like Demonspawn. They're a lot of fun to play. As kind of um, just sort of see what you get kind of characters. Sometimes they can turn out really strong just out of nowhere, and that's always fun. I wonder why it doesn't recommend Death Knight. That's interesting. I don't know that I really want to mess around with undead. I think I'm just going to go with a Wanderer. We'll just see what we get. We'll go full random. What do we have here? Short blades, unarmed combat, throwing, and stealth. Okay, well, and a random point in shields. That's not too terribly exciting, but I don't see why we can't run with that a little bit. Let's certainly take off unarmed combat. Let's turn off everything but fighting at first. We have a scroll of teleportation, a potion of lignification, and a rope. Short sword, dagger. Okay. We'll see what our first couple of mutations are and go from there. Wait, +2 short sword. That's good. Pair of boots. Pair of boots. Okay. Let's head back this way. Alright, there we go. Does not look like this is going to be a very spellcasty character, but that could change. Never know. My skill increases level 2. We don't have any dodging whatsoever, which is a little worrisome. I think I'd rather work on fighting first. I'm not too concerned by level 1 here. Ooh, unless there's a knoll. There we go. Okay. Wow, excellent. Our feet thicken and deform, so immediately our boots. We're gonna have to get off get them off our feet. And let's just get rid of them because soon we won't be able to wear them at all. We'll keep using this short sword for the time being. Yeah, our kick is important to us. Ooh, yikes. Strong worm. So what we'll do here is we'll just wield our spear after we rest up a little bit, make sure we have at least some buffer. Okay, it's not there anymore, so there it is. With a spear, you can just kind of kite worms around all day. They can't move fast enough to catch you. So you never actually have to engage them in hand-to-hand combat. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, so here's where we have some decisions to make. I know I said I didn't want this to be too terribly serious of a run, but stats are kind of important. They make a a reasonably big difference, especially in the early game. The question really is, do we want to try and cast any spells at all? And if so, how far do we want to go? Do we want just some utility level 1 and 2 spells? I kind of like having those available, in which case I'd want a little bit more intelligence. We haven't seen what direction we're going to go in as far as our mutations. We don't know if we're monstrous or not. There's a small chance with Demonspawn to be monstrous, which means you get all three of your slots are taken up by your head and your hands and your feet are all become mutated. So generally that favors a more aggressive build, like dexterity-based unarmed combat is very, very good with that because you get a lot of auxiliary attacks. Though a heavier armor melee is also fine. I just like the attack speed combined with the kicks and whatnot. Anyway, that's a more dexterity-based route, and so in a vacuum, I favor dexterity over strength for Demonspawn. Not knowing anything about their attributes. Or their mutations. So just because of that, I think it's a 10% chance that they'll turn out monstrous. Because you're basically useless otherwise if you don't go a dexterity route. I mean, you could go spellcasting still, of course, but you're still hampered by the fact that you're missing 3 slots instead of just 1. I mean, missing out on just boots is okay, but if you're also missing out on gloves and a head slot, like helmet or hat, it can get pretty difficult. Those really do add up quite a bit. Dexterity also, generally speaking, is better with worse equipment. The higher tiers of armor, the sort of plate and dragon mail or dragon scale armors, need a lot of strength to really be useful. Whereas the lower, like robes and leather armor and whatnot, dodging needs dexterity to be very good, but the armors have utility beyond just their armor class at the lighter armors. So again, in the dark, I would rather go dexterity. But all that being said, I do kind of want to leave my options a little bit more open, and I want to be able to get level 2 spells maybe for repel missiles, possibly, and be able to cast a couple of just utility, like magic darts maybe if we pick up a book that has a couple of low-level spells in it. Summon butterflies is an incredibly useful spell, far more useful than it has any right being. So I think I'm just going to put another point into intelligence. It means we won't be particularly specialized early on, but that's okay. We can go back to our short sword here. I think it's a better weapon for us overall. Just because we have those 3 skill points in it. The other reason why I'm training fighting here over anything else is because we do have a 0 aptitude for it as opposed to a -1. Not a really big difference. That by itself would not sway me one way or another. But yeah, we haven't acquired a second mutation yet. Cloven feet. I don't know if cloven feet differ from talons. I don't know if there's a difference. Maybe talons are slashing and cloven feet are bludgeoning. That would be my guess, with no evidence to back this up. There may also be a damage difference. I could see, for example, talons being a faster cooldown, as it were, on its attack, but a lower damage or something like that. I don't know. They might be identical except for the flavor, which is fine in my book. I like that we're walking around on almost hooves. We just have large cloven feet, so they kind of look like these weird, clubby, pseudo-goat feet. We're not going to try on that ring yet because I don't think there's... there is a likelihood that we've picked up a scroll of Remove Curse, but I don't want to chance it, and I don't want to have to read all of our scrolls to find it. Once we get a stack of scrolls that has 3 or 4 copies in it, we'll assume that that's safe to try as a scroll of Remove Curse, and we can put it on a ring. Okay, Livalon won't accept us because we're Demonspawn. Livalon is the healing god or goddess, the healing deity, and one of the trio of good deities, good in quotation marks there, in that they are really not very pleasant if you're a Demonspawn. They dislike you quite a bit. Now I think we can go toe-to-toe with a worm. Yeah, there we go. Our feet thicken and deform further. We have hoof-like feet, so almost hooves. Still have no indication as to which direction we're going, though we did get our random point in dexterity. Demonspawn, their level 4, 8, 12, etc. stat gains are split evenly, or even the probability is split evenly amongst all 3 stats. It's a 1/3 chance each. Let's grab that dagger. I think we can, yeah, we can throw daggers. I really should have picked up some stones. I think I even saw some up there, but ooh, that looks like a short sword that we want to... Ooh, +4. Nice. Well, let's get rid of our not as good short sword. That's a good find. A hunting sling. We'll pick it up. Go. And at some point, we'll... 2 stones. Yeah, we'll pick up some rocks. They removed the weight restrictions. I think I was babbling on about that in the Santa Claus video. I think I never got around to saying that because the weight restrictions, or the weight of items has been removed, Felids are more viable than they once were. Because you don't have to put points into strength early on to be able to carry incidental equipment that you find, and generally you don't have to worry about putting points into it at all if you don't plan on doing sort of an extended endgame where you have a lot of stat drain happening. I don't know if you still die at 0 strength, but you definitely are not in a good way if you get there. You might just be paralyzed for a while, like 20 turns or something. So if there are any monsters around, you are dead. Ooh, okay. Let's see here. It used a cantrip, I believe. That is what it means when it says it became braver. Cantrips are spells that do nothing that some spellcasters will have, and they are generally placed in the more powerful spell sets to balance it out. If there's a little bit of if the developers thought that there was one type of orc wizard that was far stronger than the others, they'll throw a cantrip in there so that when they randomly cast spells, or whatever algorithm decides which spell they cast, occasionally it will be a cantrip and it won't just hit us with very powerful spells over and over again, or cast haste on every single ally, that kind of thing. So that means that this particular orc wizard has Throw Frost, Cantrip, Haste, Throw Flame, Magic Dart, Invisibility. All of those are line of sight based, so we can just pull them back to here, I suppose, and just start bashing away. Yeah, Puff of Frost hits. Okay. Okay. Excellent. We slip into the darkness of the dungeon. Okay. That's actually a reasonable mutation to get. It's the Night Stalker mutation, we gain we become more stealthy, but we have a shortened sight radius, I believe, is what happens. Let me check on that momentarily. I really should have pulled this up before the... Well, I didn't know when I began recording that I was going to be playing a Demonspawn. That was kind of a spur of the moment. But I'm going to pull up the crawl wiki and pull up the list of Demonspawn mutations. I have many of them memorized, but I think some of them changed in 0.15, and it's always nice to be sure, just so you can sort of focus your skill set a little bit more. Anyway, that's taking a little while to load. So in the meantime, it's worth turning on stealth now. Let's get fighting. Actually, we don't really have to worry about that. Fighting is not... Fighting and spellcasting are different from other skills in that they have effect at tenths of a point instead of, or tenths of a level instead of just full levels. So you don't need to round it out with fighting and spellcasting as much. Spellcasting is a little less so. That is less so the case with spellcasting because you do get something on strict levels with spellcasting, and that is additional memorization levels. The crawl wiki is sometimes very, very slow. Anyway, so I think turning on stealth just 100% for a couple levels worth is fine. Since we're going to be predisposed to want to sneak around anyway. It also makes me glad that we got that point in... Let's grab this trident and drop this spear. Tridents are just better than spears in every way. Regular orcs, not too worried about them. This also, actually, the other thing that I'm going to do is turn on dodging. We'll do a 50-50 split on those. Because this means that we're not likely to want to wear heavy armor, since that would basically defeat the purpose of our Night Stalker mutation. We would just end up with a reduced sight radius and no benefit. What is going on here? Ah, an altar of Dithmenos. That actually... Let me for sure clarify what Night Stalker mutation does. Because Dithmenos could be a very good choice here. It lets us sort of teleport to things. We can go kind of a stabber build. Okay. The page finally loaded. Excellent. Hooves. Okay. Oh, dear. Well, hooves reduce our stealth by 20, so that's a little... Or at max rank. That's a little frustrating. So we'll have to find a source of flight at some point. Interesting. Talons do not have a stealth penalty, so that's... Anyway, where is Night Stalker? It's our one of our tier 2 mutations. Okay, yeah. So plus 40, plus 80, plus 120 stealth with -1, -2, -3 line of sight. A reduction in line of sight is not actually all that bad, because generally speaking, if you can't see it, it can't see you. It can hear you, possibly, and it can still chase you, but it can't see you. Okay, so let's go ahead and worship Dithmenos. I feel like the fact that we found this fairly early on, and it fits our current mutation pretty well. We just will avoid using fiery things. Another nice thing about Dithmenos is that you don't have to worry about sacrificing to it, so it's a little less of a hassle. Okay, Terrence. Terrence the Incautious. Wielding a glowing short sword. I don't think I've read his little description. That's very interesting. Fable. I'm sorry if you didn't finish reading it, but you can always pause the video. I don't want to wait too long. Okay, he did wake up. I feel like we can take on Terrence. He looks easy. I feel like we should be okay. He drank a healing potion. That's frustrating. Okay, yeah. No problems there. Yeah, we probably have Remove Curse at this point, so let's try a +1 short sword of protection. Is that better than our +4 short sword? I don't know, I'll figure that out in a second. I kind of want to try on this scale mail. +1, okay. Very unstealthy, though. Alright, so we'll put our robe back on. Since I kind of like that. But it's good to have that scale mail. Oh, that's right, it's scale mail, not ring mail. Encumbrance rating 11. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out for us. But we'll hang on to it just in case. Ooh, this is rough. We need to respect that priest. Do some line of sight work here. Okay, good. He came around the other side. Ugh. All right. That was a little rough. That was a little scary. A runed flail. I don't think I really want to go flails. I think we'll stick to short and long swords. The cross-trained. Because if you'll see, we already have 2 levels in long blades because of our short blade skill. Yeah. I think we can turn on short blades as well at some point. I really think that stealth and dodging are, as a focus for now, are superior. Short blades would give us a little bit more damage, but I feel like being able to sneak up on things is going to be very, very nice. And also stealth is really good with Dithmenos' various god-given abilities. But we can probably try on that ring now as well. Ring of magical power. Well, that's not particularly exciting, though we're still certainly able to cast spells. Worshipping Dithmenos does not preclude it. And really, unless you really just want to focus on a specific type of build, there's no reason to prevent yourself from casting spells. Granted, there aren't that many ways that you can do that. Let's explore another entrance to that level. We are reasonably deep in the dungeon. Okay, good. We managed to kill one of the adders. Let's pull him back around. Dodging is at level 2. That's nice. We can also always switch over to this longsword. Our skill is not that far off. 2 instead of 3. But level 6. Okay. I feel like at this point it behooves us to put points into dexterity, as we are ourselves behooved. Yep, that's That's the best it's going to get, folks. Okay, iguanas are pretty tough, if I recall. I feel a little bit wary about this, but we prevail. We're near starving, which is a little bit annoying. But we can always eat permafood. Ooh, a cutlass. A +0 cutlass. Forget what the 4 and 7 as opposed to 4 and 6. Okay, so it's marginally better than a short sword. Minimum delay 5. Yeah, marginally better than a short sword. Not better than an enchanted short sword. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. Also, with that, we can try out this dagger. A cursed -1 dagger. Oh no! Well, time to find out if this is a scroll of magic mapping. Scroll of identify. We'll use that on some of these potions. I'm a little sad that in 0.15 they removed the possibility of multiple identifications with the same scroll. I always like that. There we go, scroll of remove curse. And let's go back to the short sword protection. We'll switch off the short sword once our dodging gets a little bit higher, or when we pick up some good leather armor or something along those lines. Da-da-da. Food, glorious food. Ooh, okay, let's wield our hunting sling and see if we can't soften up that knoll a little bit. Okay. Here, yeah, I do want the protection over... Oh, yikes. This is a very scary situation. I did not anticipate a second knoll. That's fine. We can still take on knolls one at a time. Ah, good. We're shrouded in aura of darkness. Clean up some of these orcs. I didn't want to rest until fully healed there. A sapphire ring. Was the jackal wearing it? Was the gnoll wearing it? I don't know. +2 ring of evasion. That's nice. That'll help. A couple free points of evasion for us. The reason why I wanted to go down and clear up those orcs was to not lose our piety level with Dithmenos immediately after attaining it. I didn't want to let our piety decay. Trog would have been another interesting option. Zin will not accept us. Zin. The Lawgiver. Another one of the Holy Trinity. Yeah, we're doing all right, I think. Let's go ahead and turn on invocations a little bit. That is one nice thing about Demonspawn, is that they do have that +3 invocations aptitude, which somewhat makes up for some of their weaker aptitudes, namely most of them. To be fair, -1 isn't terrible. It's well, a -4 is half of the here's the ecumenical temple. A -4 is half the speed at which you would normally gain. Ooh, the Stormbringer. That would have been fun. Stormy Altar of Kozlal. Maybe next time I'll do a Demonspawn of Kozlal. I feel like Dithmenos is better with our Night Stalker and everything. Kozlal makes you very not stealthy. Ooh, yikes. Just orcish priests all over the place. Let's head back this way. Okay. Also, how stealthy are we? Fairly stealthy still. Okay. A Gnoll Shaman. Probably more gnolls where he came from. Yes, there are. Ooh, this is really risky. Alright. The gnoll can continue to hit us from afar with a spear there. Let's drink one of these potions of agility and just wade on in. There we go. Alright. Rest up and carry onward. This short sort of protection, I feel, is pulling its weight. There is no way that we're going to be able to get there without waking the priest. We've explored a lot of this level. Yeah. Let's dive down here and start exploring the next level and come back up and deal with those when we're a little bit stronger. I feel nervous about taking on that whole room at once. I feel like we can be more prudent than that. Huh. 3 levels from the same critter. That's nice. Let's go ahead and try this ring out. We don't really need the Ring of Magical Power right now. Ring of Wizardry is better than the Ring of Magical Power. It allows us to cast a greater variety of spells when we find our first spellbook. Whenever that may be. We're not in any hurry. Let's pick up this dagger and try it out. A vampiric dagger. Interesting. I kind of want to switch to that soon. Not immediately. Okay, well there's that priest. I think by himself we can prevail. And we did. Okay. That was a little bit risky. I probably should have pulled them back into the hallway. But I just kind of wanted to kill them all. I was impatient in my bloodlust. Do we have any abilities yet? No. Okay. Our Umbra has gotten a little larger. The Umbra being that sort of blue, shadowy aura surrounding us. Yeah, felt a little more comfortable taking those on. Seeing how we're faring against various things. Our Umbra is growing. Excellent. Great, great, great. Okay. So that finishes off that level. Except for straggling orcs and giant newt skeletons. Okay. Yeah, stealth used to be much more powerful back in, I don't know, 0.8 and before, 0.8 and earlier. You could sneak up, especially on lower level monsters, or in earlier levels of the dungeon, you could sneak up much more easily on things. And you can, by the way, you can go back and play earlier trunk versions if you so desire. I believe that they are all on the website. So if you ever wish to experience the unbridled power of the old Spriggan enchanters, or I believe Chebritos used to be even stronger than it is now, which is saying something. To wear, not wield. We still, interesting. I guess we have level 2 of Night Stalker and level 2 of Hooves. So 4 of our 7 levels we have acquired mutations. Or I suppose 4 of the 6 levels we've gained. You are guaranteed to have all of your mutations by level 27, but the order in which they come and the rate at which they come is random, or is unpredictable. There is some pattern to it. Rarely do you get your tier 3 mutation before you get at least one of your tier 2 mutations. Ooh, this +2 robe of the tarantula looks fantastic. Bonus to stealth, an enchantment. Other options would be the robe of fire resistance, which would be fine. Leather armor of cold resistance would also be fine. It's actually a tough choice. Fire is a little bit annoying. I mean, it's dangerous, but we're not going to see a whole lot of it just yet. And I feel like the stealth bonus is a more unique effect than fire resistance. I feel like we can pick up fire resistance kind of anywhere we want to. So let's go ahead and buy this robe and put it on. See what we look like in it. Ah, blue robe. Excellent. And we can go ahead and drop our boring old white robe. Alright, I think I'm going to end this video here. I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit shorter because I've noticed that the longer they go, the longer they take to upload. And it's not just a linear increase. It's a 15-minute video takes about an hour to upload for me right now. A 30-minute video takes about 4 hours, and an hour-long video takes upwards of like 15 or 16. And so it's what? Exponential progression or geometric? I don't know. What one of those progressions that is non-linear. So I'll go ahead and end this here. I may continue recording. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll probably record another one. But for now, so long, and thanks for watching.